Trading Trenches. I'm gonna go over my watch list for this week. All right, I'm gonna move kind of fast. It's pretty late, and I want some sleep. All right, guys. So first up, we have AVGO. All right. So AVGO on the monthly, it's got some space. Okay, 306 is where 3ATR is. On the weekly, we just got rejected from 3ATR, 306 again, and on the daily, 310 prices down here. Okay, so far so good. I'm gonna go through and make sure that everything on the watch list has space to move, and then I'll come back and maybe set up a few of these charts. FYI, I started doing that already a little bit. That's why we have these support zones. You might see that on 2 or 3 of these charts. All right, so AVGL's got some space. I like it. Okay, we got EVR. EVR on the monthly has plenty of space. On the weekly, it's got plenty of space. And on the daily, it's got plenty of space. All right, we got this nice support zone come in. Looks great. Google. Google's got some space up top. Oopsie, what did I do? Google's got some space on the monthly. All right, on the weekly. And on the daily, it's got some space, about $10. What I like is that earnings is behind us, right? So now we don't have any events that are gonna add any volatility to the price, right? We can just find some clean setups, take some trades, and pay ourselves. All right, this is FSS. This thing is pretty extended. It's got some space though. Not on the weekly and not really on the daily. I'm gonna pass on FSS. All right, this is WEC. Some of these names, if you been watching these weekly videos, you'll see they pop up again. Because they still meet my requirements for something that I want to trade. Weekly's got space. Daily has got some space. Not too much space, a couple dollars, but a little something. Urban. On the monthly, it's almost out of room. On the weekly, same deal. It's got earnings coming up August 26th. This could be fun to play into earnings. I'm not thrilled about where the price is, but because earnings is coming up, I'll just keep it on there for now. Let's see. On the monthly, this thing is hyper extended or super extended or overextended. They got earnings on the 6th, on the weekly, and on the daily. This thing's already out of my buy zone, and with earnings coming up on Wednesday, I'm gonna pass. All right, PLTR. Whew. PLTR has been on a tear. All right, that's amazing. 1 week, 1 day, and they have earnings. When's this? Oh, they have earnings tomorrow. This actually might make a good day trade. Let me see. 30-minute chart. 15, 10, 5. Yeah, this could have an interesting price action tomorrow, but I'm just gonna pass. All right, 1 month. We got some space. I just released a video talking about this indicator down here, TTM squeeze. So this thing was squeezing and it's starting to fire long. Dots turning green. So it's not too exciting, but earnings is behind, which is nice. And with the squeeze firing on the weekly, I mean on all of them, right? Weekly and the daily, it's probably got room to run, but ideally I want to catch it with squeezes. This might work. Let's see. Nope. All right. I'm going to close NEM or NEM. Let's check out Microsoft on the monthly. Super extended. On the weekly also, and on the daily. Yep, passing on Microsoft. All right, let's check out Meta. Meta still has space on the monthly. The weekly, it's got some space up here to 807. We're at 750. And on the daily, not too much space, but a little something still. We're about $80. I mean $30, $35. We have earnings behind us. If Meta was to pull back, I don't see this happening, but if Meta pulls back and under, what's that, 720, it'd be interesting. So I'm going to send an alert here, 719.86, but I'm going to delete Meta off my list. Let's probably be waiting for that move to come back down for a little bit. So on the monthly, JBL is extended. On the weekly, it's extended. On the daily, it's not horrible. They have earnings later. Yeah, this could be an interesting setup on the daily, but I don't like that the weekly and the monthly are so extended. So I'm going to pass on JBL. Wayfarer. So on the monthly, it's got plenty of space, $30. On the weekly, it's right up there on the weekly. And on the daily, it's pretty darn close. They have earnings. When's this? Monday, tomorrow. They report earnings early in the morning. So this is interesting. I'm going to keep this on my watch list just so that I can see how they report, how they do during earnings. Might make a fun day trade. SYM, what is this? Wednesday. So we still got a couple companies reporting this week, right? Monthly's got some space. The weekly is pretty close to 3 ATR. The daily's got some space. This is interesting-ish. Let's see if there are some lower time frame squeezes. 30. Okay. This is interesting. I like this because price is ranging here, right? So the probability of it bouncing and coming back up along with the earnings is more likely than not. If you are familiar with basic technical analysis, you see that the price was rejected there, right? Price was rejected there, and now those areas have become support, right? So right, price is supported there, price is supported there. So old resistance seems like it's becoming new support. Could be interesting. So I will keep this one on my watch list as well. Ooh, that's beautiful. Let me just explain what I mean. When I say something looks beautiful, I mean it has the perfect bullish flag setup that I want to see when I take a trade. See that? That's bullish flag, very bullish pattern. I really like that pattern a lot. And earnings is Thursday. This is interesting. Okay, let's see the monthly. Ugh. So the monthly is super extended. I do not like that. Let's see what a fib looks like. Okay. So it's got some space towards its first target. The monthly and the daily are super extended. I mean, the monthly and the weekly are super extended, and the daily doesn't really have space. However, that pattern is so beautiful. With earnings coming up, I am highly tempted to get into this thing. And it's got squeezes all over the place, right? So it's squeezing on the 195, it's squeezing on the 130, it's squeezing on the 78. Squeezing on the 65, squeezing on the 45, squeezing on the 30. This thing is primed for a move. And I'm definitely going to be looking to get involved. Ideally, I like this 78-minute chart, because, we only got a few days, but this time frame for me is probably my favorite. Before we even get to the rest of the charts, I'm going to set this one up because I really like it. And yeah. So this will be my buy zone, okay? So 59 to 62.50. So buy zone. We're going to say 59 to 62.50. The lower end of the buy zone is going to be best, obviously, right? Stop out under 59. So my stop loss is going to be under $59, right? So before I get into any trade, I always predefine my risk. That means I decide where I'm wrong and where I'm right. For this trade, I'm going to decide I'm wrong under $59. If this thing starts coming down under 59, I will exit the position. And I'm going to decide I'm right up here around 67 or higher, 67 plus, right? I really like that this first take profit area is lining up with 3 ATR here on the 78-minute chart. Now let's look at the risk versus reward ratio. So even though this is the buy zone, I'm going to just assume for probability purposes that I get in the center. All right. I'm going to set my stop right here, 58.97, and my first take profit. So this trade is just beautiful all over. We have a beautiful pattern. We have earnings coming up. The buy zone is not too far from where the price is currently. If we're lucky, if I'm lucky, the stock will open up, get rejected here, drop right into the buy zone, allow me to scoop up, a couple shares and right off to the sunset Thursday afternoon. So ideally, I will hold this position either right before the close on Thursday, or if this thing takes off and hits one of these targets. Again, risking $1 to make 4. This is beautiful. Let's look at some options real quick before I continue. So this is MP. Let's just link these. And again, this is for this week. So this is, as you guys can see, high implied volatility, right? 115% as compared to the other weeks, 80 something, 70. And I'm going to just go right here, right in the money. So if I can get in here under 61, I'm going to want to grab maybe these 62s, 61s, or 60s, okay? It's going to be something here for a conservative play, okay? If you want to be aggressive, you can go a little bit out the money, maybe the 70s or the 65s. They're going to be a little bit cheaper, right? 70s out here. I don't mind buying options contracts out the money for an event when the volatility is high, the implied volatility is high. Okay, so I'm very happy to buy the 70 calls, and even on that dip that I'm looking for, these things might end up being about 80 cents or something like that. So let me just type this in. Trade idea. We're going to say A for aggressive. We're going to say the 70 calls. Moderate, we're going to say the 65 calls. And conservative, we're going to do the 60 calls. Okay. Now, this is what I plan on purchasing when the price is in my buy zone, which means if the market opens up and MP starts moving up here, I will not be purchasing any of these. I will only make the purchase if the price dips into my buy zone. Okay? So that's the setup. You got your stop loss. You got your take profit zones, 67 plus. You're going to be making $4 for every dollar you risk. All right, this is a beautiful trade, beautiful setup. Definitely my favorite setup. All right, let's check out BE. BE on the monthly. This thing looks interesting. It's like been in this range for years, right? So it's not overextended in the monthly. The weekly is overextended. Let's see. They reported. Oh my goodness. So these guys reported earnings and had an amazing surprise. 725% they beat earnings. That is interesting. The daily, of course, you know, on that kind of news. I mean, that's incredible, truly. Um, and although it looks beautiful, I think I'm gonna pass on this one. This would have been good to get into prior, right? Maybe right here where you got the squeezes and you had this nice bull flag shape here. Wow, that's a beauty, but I'm gonna pass because it's already done all the magic. Okay, now Poet. Poet's an interesting one. Poet is not something that popped up on my scanner. Poet is actually a name that um, I found on Reddit. Uh, so it's interesting, right? Because this chart is, for lack of a better term, ugly to me. It's not something I would want to trade necessarily, right? Like MP, I mean, besides the recent price action is also pretty ugly, but um, this is more what I would like to see, right? Something that's been trending higher, at least for the better part of, you know, a year or so, right? Like these things are doing. Um, Poet is, right, basically the opposite. It's been coming down, right? Even MP since late 2024. What is this? August 2024. It's been just nothing but up. So Poet is interesting. Um, the weekly, the monthly, they have space, even the daily. Honestly, looking at this now, I don't know why I added it to my watch list. I think maybe I just added it because I wanted to see what it looked like. But nothing about this is actually exciting, so I'm going to just delete that. All right, so this is my updated watch list for the week. We already set up MP. I mean, this is my favorite setup. So I guess I won't make this video any longer than it has to be. Take a screenshot, watch the video again. Makes sense. The only thing I will say is that I'm looking here at EVR. I'm going to show you guys my zone just so that if you are someone who likes to take a lot of trades, you can have this. So we got 279, what was that, 37 to 283, 34. So I would stop out under 297, all right? And then ideally be taking profits up here on 330. This is a daily chart, so the squeezes are just starting, right? We only have 3 squeezes here. So if I was going to look at EVR contracts, I would go at least 30 to 45 days. AVGO also had a nice little zone here of support that I already marked up previously. What is this? So we got 282, 63 to 282. This is actually a really tight zone. Um, I like that. All right. So I'd stop out. Under 282. Okay. That's the buy zone. That's where I would stop out at. And then ideally looking to take profits up here, 313, basically new all-time highs. I'd probably get these contracts. They report earnings at the end of the month, August 28th, which is right before Friday. What's this? AVGO. August 28th. So I get the August 29th contracts. These are a little bit of a higher premium, but again, since it's an earnings play, I don't mind going out the money. What do these 310s look like? So 310s going for $5. Even the 320s aren't bad, honestly. So I like that idea. What was I looking at in Google? Let's see. 195. Okay, so the 195 is starting to form. So this is what I like. Google beat earnings, okay? Everyone knows Google. We know it's a great company, great chart, great setup. The price is already in my buy zone, okay? So that's what I like about Google. Buy zone is going to be 188 to 190, okay? So I would stop out under 188, and then I'd take profits 200, basically new all-time highs. So either 3 ATR, right, 199, or 200. So let's see. What's the risk involved? There's always risk involved with trading, okay? Trading is a probabilities game. So you never know if you're going to win or lose, which is why you have rules that you follow and you stick to. So this is amazing, right? Google's in the buy zone, tight stop loss. We're risking $1 to make $11. All right, I love this risk reward ratio. For Google, I would go out the same. Maybe about 25 days is fine. It's not on a daily chart, it's on the 195. So it should play out a little bit quicker. And, right in the money here. These 190s, 195s. If you like to pay a cheaper premium, the 200 or 205s probably are not horrible. Personally, I like to get a delta. There's 50-40 delta at least. Okay, delta, if you're not familiar, is just the amount that your position will increase in profits or decrease for each dollar the stock moves. So a 50 delta, if the stock runs $10, that's $500 per contract, as an estimate. Wayfair is the one. Let's go over Wayfair real quick. So you see Wayfair, it's got this cute little bull flag here. It's squeezing. All right, and they report earnings in the morning. So if Wayfair is over I'll call it 70. If Wayfair is over $70 after reporting earnings, I'm going to want to get long this thing for a day trade, okay? So that would put it at new highs, it looks like, on this, not lifetime highs, but at least for this daily, all right? New highs since this EMA flop to the upside here in early May, okay? So if Wayfair opens over $70, I'm happy to take a little day trade on it. Can't really show a setup on it per se, because this is a more kind of play by ear type of trade. But I will say this, that I will be trading it on the 5-minute chart. If I get the move that I want, I'll wait for the initial spike up, maybe 15 minutes or so, see how the price action develops. If it makes a nice little base, it looks like it wants to go higher. A little base like this, something small, just showing that basically price is being supported where it popped up at, and that it's not going to be rejected, because we have 3 ATR over here on the daily, right? So we don't want to get too cute. All right, guys, I hope this helps. I'm just going to show this setup one more time. This is my favorite setup here. Stop loss under 59. Buy zone. All right, guys, happy trading.